All right, buddy. This is the Haxian Brood's best. For whatever that's worth. But she didn't come alone. And I don't remember any rules on Ordo Eris. Things might get messy.
Glory in combat. So be it.
Pathetic. Lucky I wasn't there during your rounds in the arena.
That all you got?
Enough game! Bloody scared, Jedi!
Little help, BD.
Stop running! You're paying back!
Toss it! Hope that's the last of the Haxian Brood we'll see. Let's get back to Cage and be done with this whole bounty hunting business. It's okay, BD. We'll find another way. Breathe. These look interesting. Monk, you back there? I'm surprised you're sticking around through all this.
Leave the cantina? Huh, I think not. They'll have to drag me out in a scrap box. Besides, I've been in worse predicaments with far worse employers.
Oh yeah? Were you fired?
Not exactly. I quit with little notice. I found the job distasteful, to say the least.
It was good to see you. Something smells good.
That would be Great-Grandma Pyloon's potato namba patty.
How'd she learn to cook so well?
Oh, she had no choice. With 8 children, 36 grandchildren, and 2 lost cats, she was cooking for a small army.
I'm glad we can still enjoy her recipes.
Me too. Grandma Pyloon's cooking lives on. But the lost cats, not so much. Let's talk in a bit, yeah?
Garacos. They fight to the bitter end, don't they? Especially when they're injured.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of beasts are like that. I learned the hard way on a family outing once. My first time leading. Tracked a Kivaroa back to its nest. It was killing livestock. No other choice but to put it down. Played the approach perfectly. Found an opening. But my family was watching, so I decided to get a little bit fancy. Lost my concentration. One of its legs slams down, inches away from cracking my spine. Mama pushed it aside in the nick of time and finished that Kivaroa no frills.
That's a close call.
Yep. Hey, you corner something, it'll do what it needs to survive. Even when you have the upper hand, never underestimate your prey.
You ever think about taking trips off-world, Turgle?
Maybe, but I'd keep my home base here, of course. But I imagine owning multiple luxury homes across the galaxy as my fame and fortune grow. I hear the lakes on Naboo are beautiful this time of year. And Diego's got 1,000 moons. 1,000! That's so many! Hiya.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Guess I'm fine too.
It's all right if you're not.
Hey, don't get mushy on me. Do I miss Grok? Sure I do. I mean, you know what hurts the worst? The old man was strong, sharp, grumpy enough to curdle clear water too. Beneath all of that, he actually believed that a couple of nobodies like us could strike it rich. Too many skeptics and cynics out there, Cal. You find a believer, you hold on tight.
I hear you.
Talk later, buddy.
You seem troubled.
I just keep going through it all in my head. I lost some friends. If I'd done something differently, maybe they'd still be alive.
No. When my planet was being invaded by the Empire, I led my family to an abandoned bunker. It had shelter, provisions, a great idea, until it wasn't. It was shelled. I lost 2 brothers.
It's awful. But you don't blame yourself for leading them there.
Never. That decision was correct at the time. This is how I choose to live. Now is not the time to speak.
So how'd you like playing on Coruscant?
At first, I loved it. The Undercity's this melting pot of all these different struggles. A real vivid place, you know? After a few months of small gigs, though, I got bumped up to the popular clubs. Didn't take long for me to start hating it.
Not your scene.
It wasn't a conversation, you know? Those crowds just wanted to be able to say they'd seen the next big thing.
Sounds like you were really on the rise.
Well, my agents were ambitious. Scored me a deal that could have had me on billboards all over the Corps. But I said no.
That takes guts.
Well, so does slicing up raiders. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Hey, Cal, let's talk another time. Mine's racing with ideas right now.
Your turn to choose, BD. Let's try this one.
Listen, friend, what's your name?
It's Cal.
Moran. Charm. You seem a decent sort, Cal. Look, maybe you're just the latest fool to get tangled up with the Bedlam Raiders, or maybe you're the real deal. But this place will bleed you dry. Understand? Get out while you can.
Noted.
This place is starting to fill up, Cal. Guess the word is out.
It's looking pretty good.
Seeing this place start to get its legs feels like the start of something historic. What if, centuries from now, there's a city here? Even Eldera was just a lumber colony once.
Doma better start investing in urban planning.
True. Thurgood told me he named a road after his foot.
So, it looks like we aren't the only ones who found romance on Kobo.
What, Turgle and Two locked? I don't think that's in the stars.
Come now, Carl. That delightfully dark Maven has been casting wayward glances at you.
Marin? What was the look?
She's a hard one to read. You, however, couldn't be more obvious. So, what are you waiting for?
Good question. A lot going on right now.
Okay, don't get so caught up that you miss the small things. Because those are the things you'll remember.
Ah, Carl, we were just discussing what we should renovate next.
Just lots else to fix around here. Thanks to the raiders, you know.
Yes, of course, but surely we can find something a bit more inspiring for our next project than a water pump.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Sierra and Cordova are gone.
Still can't believe it.
Neither can I. We will honor them by helping the path, Cal. We'll speak later.
Until we meet again. Cal, I hope I'm not intruding, but what happened to your Jedi Master?
He died during the Purge. Gave his life so I could escape. I can still hear his last words. Trust only in the Force.
Oh, Cal, I am so very sorry.
It was a long time ago.
2 centuries later, and Master Kreesla's directive still rattles my memory banks.
I'll never forget. That's how they're still with us.
I think you're right about that. I'm busy, young Jedi.
Oi, Cal. Think it's time I told you more about the old days. Got a moment?
Sure.
All right. I think it's time you knew about Tendo Goatbridge.
We're off to a good start.
Was Tendo sharp? No. Bloody idiot. Was he a looker? Well, people looked all right. The fella was uglier than a shiverpede. But old Tendo had one thing worth more than any of that. The bastard was plumb lucky. See, old Tendo goes and buys the worst claim in the region. About as likely to find a payday there as in your breakfast. But not 2 days later, that rocker blasts his way into a cavern crawling with priorite. Well, Tendo fills his arms with the stuff. Couldn't see the ground in front of him. Poor fool stepped right on his detonite charge pack. The blast turned his bones inside out. We all shared in the spoils. So much priorite, the whole bloody outpost didn't have to work for a month. But we all knew it was Tendo and his lucky tailbone that got us the first big find. Oi, Cal, good to see you.
So, Scuba, whatever happened with the pirates?
So there we were, 4 quarren, armed with spears, each way a mind to make a mantelpiece of my wee rubbery head. I looked over to me captain, and he stared right back, waving his arms like a goober fish in heat. At the harpoon I held in my hand. Oh, for a black instant, I considered nailing those pirate quarren to the rocks with my harpoon. But something stopped me from pulling the trigger. Perhaps it was the sparkle that caught my eye. The sparkle of a passing glumbering eel. What would those pirates say to a whole school of glumbering eels? A crackle and a sparkle as they be, thought I. So I opened my wee mouth and emitted the mating call of the eel.
You speak eel?
Aye, but I forgot to turn on me comm. We Scuba alone heard the cry. But that demented expression put such a fright on the quarren that they dropped the blasters. By the time they'd come to the senses, we were swimming away as fast as our flippers could carry us. It was only later, as we fled aboard the Zephyr's schooner, that I realized how close the real danger was. But I shall continue my tale next time. Where did we end? Yes. The monstrous Captain Wet, his crew and myself fled aboard the pirate schooner of the filthy Zephyrs. Well, fast as the morning thaw, I could tell something was off. Wanyik, he wouldn't look me in the eye. Oh, what a dreadful stench was a brew in his rotten beard. An augur of fate most ill. Wanyik took the helm, and with landing claws away, we flew to deep space, putting a few lifetimes between us and those pirates. We found ourselves afield of the Parlimean trade route. As soon as the captain took his hand off the yoke, he put it on his harpoon and gave me a look like a half-starved cougar cat iron sprat. Scuba, snarled the vile captain. You've gone as soft as an oyster's navel. If I couldn't trust you to spare a quarren with her blaster in your mouth, I couldn't trust you to skewer the great goober fish. Aye, my hesitance to pull the trigger had me undone. In spite of my most rabid pleas, the captain jettisoned wee Scuba in an escape pod. The last thing I saw was his dread smile, crooked like a bayman's backbone. And so, my time aboard the grapnel met a briny end. Sitting alone in a pod, in deep space, with nothing but a tank of old cod and gash. I'll tell you more later, lad. The despair, the stench. It's enough to set my stomach a churn to this very day.
So, Scuba, back to your story. Were you actually marooned in deep space by Captain Wet?
Aye, lad. There I sat, tummy a rumble, gazing out at the void. My somber reflection staring back from the porthole. Was it hours? Years? Neither would faze me. But I do recall this. After a term most interminable, there she was, like a bowsprit cutting through a crest. A great space whale, still sporting the grapnel's imprint on her side, emerged from a parted void. Aye, even now it brings the salt to my eyes. Her great blubbery undulations tossed me pod through the stars like a goose-winged skiff. The stars swirled about like 100,000 fishes until suddenly I saw a planet below. There my pod crashed, and there I was rescued by kindly locals. I'd been saved by this marvelous creature from the depth of space. I tried searching for her. Alas, to no avail. She eluded me for years before I packed my satchel and headed home for Sakavi Tar. Most didn't believe what I'd seen. They say she was knocked with a terminal spasm of a starving salt's brain. But I know what I saw, lad. I know what I saw. Of course, when I returned home, things were not as I remembered them. But that be a tale for another time. Coward!
Hey, Scuba. How's the water?
Fine. I just wanted to thank you for lending me your tank. Plenty more space for plenty more fishes, though. Let's keep them all spinning, eh?
Wonderful. New seeds. Plant one. I'll share its details.
Plants are so pretty.
Yes, they are.
I used to look at hollow images when Papa was away.
And where is he now?
He passed. He's gone.
Oh, a friendly face. Could be great for you.
You got a good eye.